Hello, we are back. So settle in and let's talk some action figures. I'm Joe, and with me is Tyler and Mike. Guys, how are y'all doing?
Doing good.
Are you all
Doing good.
right?
Yep.
Right on. Anything going on just in life? Everything good? Settling
Well,
down?
yeah. I'd like to say it's settling down. I'm still dealing with the fallout from a furniture company that damaged my new wood floors, and I've got a pod showing up, I think, on Monday. So I'm making preparations to get that thing unloaded and uh, that back. $1,000 a month we're paying for pods we have out there right now is silly. So it's
Gross.
time to correct that.
I think Tyler's also shortchanging himself. We've been taking advantage of the collector's bounty. Him more so
Yeah.
than I. I got Ashes of Alar. So did Tyler. But I've been chasing Ashes of Alar since, Burning Crusade.
Hold on. 20-second timeout. They're talking World of Warcraft for the uninitiated. So yeah.
So I got Ashes of Alar. And I'm like, I'm good. I don't really need to do any of the other collector's bounty. But Tyler, on the other hand, what all have you scored, my friend?
I am. Let's see. I've got Ashes of Alar. I picked that up. I picked up Invincible, which is a mount that I've wanted for quite a while. I know Joe, big favorite there for you. I mean, a lot of people love Invincible, so great mount. I picked up Midnight, which is the Etumen the Horseman's mount from Karazhan. So that's like in my head the three horses that I really had to have were the Headless Horseman mount, which I got last year during All Hallows Eve event.
Shout out to number
The
35.
shout out. We'll tell that story eventually, but yeah, shout out. Got that sucker, Invincible, and then Midnight. So I've got my pony trifecta is complete. I've got a couple others. I got both of the mounts from Zol Grub, the Raptor and the Panther, I think it is, and then I got a Phoenix out of the Firelands. I've still got one more out of Firelands to go pull. And I'm saving this for a little bit later. I have acquired what is necessary to assemble at least one of the legendary items from Vanilla. So screenshots to that on that to follow once I finish everything up there. So in hot pursuit of the other legendary, but at least one of them will be mine.
Legendary from Vanilla. Did somebody say Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker?
That is one of the legendaries from the Vanilla WoW. That is correct.
Are you trying to craft Sulfuris or
I want to craft both of them. 100% I
I'm
want to do both of them.
I'm just waiting. I think I've just got to get the heart of either the heart or the eye that has like a 0.01% chance of dropping from
Yeah.
Ragnar.
Yeah, the eye is that's the thing that's hard to get for sure.
Well, you
Yeah.
need to get on this collector's bounty, dude, because your chances would go up quite a bit.
So the thing that got me almost to come back for the collector's bounty um, was honestly the water elemental mount that drops from
From Jaina.
From
uh
Jaina.
from Jaina in that one BFA raid that
Yep.
I've
I've
never
been
done.
I've been chasing the Gmod in that same raid.
Yeah.
And that's another one that hasn't dropped yet. So, it's certainly not a guarantee, but I mean, we've all seen like that extra 5% makes a huge difference in getting them out. So I'm confident that they'll come my way eventually.
I got Ashes of Alar, and I was like, I'm good, y'all.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's one of those like I was thinking about it, but then I was like, man, I already have Invincible. I'm good.
What I
So
want, this is
besides Ashes of
anyone
Valar,
from if anyone from Blizzard is ever listening. In the book, Invincible was alive at one point. Can we get an alive version
ooh,
of Invincible That would be really
Yes, like
cool.
paladin armored out, like full on silver hand battle, like battle barding. Ah, why'd you say that? Now
Because it was like it was a cool looking horse in the book, but
it's an excellent looking
no,
horse,
we
and
haven't got it
the
yet.
man,
It's like I don't want to ride on
that's
an undead horse. I want to ride around
Oh,
in that version.
uh,
You know, nothing
I guess it
wrong with
was.
it, Tyler.
yeah,
Well, look, you guys know I got the horseman's mount. I'm still after all the stuff I've got now. I'm still flying around the horseman's mount. That was my uh, unicorn item in WoW ever since
yeah,
it was released. I mean, I've been playing since vanilla, not nonstop, guys. I've had multiple extended
yeah,
breaks in there, but I've wanted that and pursued it pretty much every Halloween since they released it, except maybe 2 years where I didn't sign back up. But typically, my pattern would be I'd quit WoW, sign up for Halloween, go after that mount, wouldn't get it, end my subscription, and I wouldn't touch it again until next year Halloween. So anyway, got that. I should mention I got the Baron Rivendare's mount from Stratholme also. So technically, it's 4 ponies that I've been chasing, and I've got all of those. I got that where I was leveling all my tanks quite a while. Well, I don't know, 6 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. But anyway, so I've got a pretty good array of rare mounts, and I'm very happy so far with the event. Like it's been really good, so can't
Yeah,
can't complain.
folks in my guild
quick
have
side
gotten
note.
some lucky.
Quick side note. There's a shield that drops from the Culling of Stratholme dungeon that is like the Lordaeron crest from
Uh-huh.
Warcraft 3,
Uh-huh.
and I wants it precious.
Oh, I have it. I
but
didn't know you didn't have
but I
that.
So do
also
I.
but but I also don't want it bad enough to resub. So it's
Well, if
Well,
you
you'll
got
resub eventually.
the cool
oh
thing
yeah,
is
oh
you resub once, get everything you want, then unsub. You got a month.
yeah, but I'm also with the Final Fantasy Magic set. I've gone back to playing Final Fantasy 8, the remastered version on Steam that I bought, and so
How
I'm
they get
playing
that?
that. Also playing Final Fantasy 16, the new one that just came out like a year or two ago. So that's been fun. I've been enjoying that. So,
Did I see you built
but
a? Did I see you build a night deck? Did you build a night
I
deck?
did. Yes.
Hey, I like night
Yeah.
decks.
Yeah. Got it right here. So
I'm excited to see
nights,
that, my friend.
and then I just got the regular Limit Break Final Fantasy 7 Precon. And then this one, I had it and I was sitting on it, but I guess it's been reissued enough that the price fell. So I was like, whatever,
There you
I'm just gonna
go.
crack it. It's the dog meat Scrappy Survivors Fallout.
Naya's awesome
So
colors because it just got a lot of white for removal, red for damage, and white for or green for ramp. So
Green
you
for
got a
lamp.
lot.
Yep.
yeah,
You got a lot of colors that do like the best utility for what they're supposed to do.
yeah.
That's really good.
And I'm also working on a because they made Squall Orzov. So I'm working on a Squall commander deck,
There you go.
and that's that's out of my wheelhouse because I've never, Mike knows, the times I've played Magic before, I've never built like black or blue decks. It's always only ever been like white, white red,
Yeah.
maybe dabble green. At one point, I did have like a green and black. It was like a elf and just kill creature deck. Whereas like I would get my elves, do stuff, and then I would have just nothing but like angels and just stuff that would just kill creatures. So, but that was that was in what, like junior high, high school maybe. So
Yeah, it's
no,
one of
it's
those
it's been a
decks. One
it's
of the
been a minute.
jankiest ones where you just put together a bunch of artwork and art and lands and hope it works.
That's exactly that. So that's exactly how this one kind of came along, where I was just like,
Oh
oh, like
no.
knights and wizards from the Final Fantasy set, like that'll be fun. and I was feeling really good about it. And then I played with a couple friends of ours. I call them the Andys, but our friend Andy and Randy, and uh, just absolutely got just demolished. It was bad. Like
Did
if I
Andy
had,
win one, or was it all Randy?
it was all Randy. Randy was
Yeah,
playing the Final
yeah.
Fantasy precons and just steamrolling. He took my ultimate weapon, artifact sword, and that hurt my feelings. But eh, it's anyway. I'll get over it eventually one day. But enough enough talking about cardboard and uh,
Yeah,
account binded.
our pod loves to steal Watkins' stuff. That's for sure.
There's one thing Watkins hates. It's like, listen, like you do whatever you want to on your own board. Just you leave my space alone. But enough talking about cardboard and account bound imaginary mounts. It's time to talk plastic. Guys, do you have any new acquisitions not from World of Warcraft or Magic the Gathering? We're talking toys now.
I I have actually several. In the interest of time, I will highlight my two probably favorites. Um, One of them, I think we talked about this last week. I've been kind of getting into the Action Force line, and I've actually already had a copy of the Warpath Eclipse. You're not going to see very well because of all the glare in my office, but
Oh, there we go.
so
That's
that's a
that's better.
great figure. And I actually have one of these already. It's in one of the pods that'll be showing up at my house in the next month or so. But really cool character. I found an opportunity to get another one at a reasonable price. These Action Force figures, especially the earlier ones, they didn't produce super high numbers. So some of the more popular ones are kind of crazy. So I had an opportunity to score one of those. So I got it's really a second one that I've got. But now I can open the other one I've got, or open this one. I can open one of the two and not feel like, oh crap, that's too expensive to be opening and playing with and displaying. So I can actually open that. And so I'm excited. I've got several other Action Force figures behind me. I've talked with you guys both, I think, a little bit about wanting to do some customizations, that kind of stuff. So keep an eye out for that if you guys are interested in custom figures. That's something I'm getting into. I've got some ideas in my head already, and looking forward to maybe building, at least getting a good start on my first custom maybe next week, depending on when stuff shows up. So the other one is something that just showed up today, and I may be stealing this from you guys, and I apologize if I am. It's a big one. Whoop.
Ooh,
Hook and long haul.
Ooh,
Pre-ordered
nice.
nice.
this from Amazon. It showed up literally this afternoon. In fact, I walked outside and there was an Amazon box on my porch, and I thought, I wonder what that is, which often happens when there's an Amazon box on my porch. But I was pleasantly surprised to see it was something that I ordered and that I really wanted. So that's
What's
we're getting
the
awful close to my friend
I was
Devastator.
I was gonna say what's the official count now?
4. I got 4.
4 with 2 to go.
It's I think help me out with this, guys. This
I thought it
says
was
3 out of 5. I thought it was
3 out of
6 too,
5.
but this
Okay.
says 3 out of 5.
Okay.
So who am I missing? What am I
Is
missing?
it
Because I
5 figures or 5 packages?
I think it's 5 packages. Because there's well, I don't know. That could be 5 packages. That's a good point, right? That's a
Yeah.
good point because there could be another. That's a good point. So far, I've got 3 packages. Let's put
Isn't
it
it
that way.
just 5? Arm,
I
chest, legs, legs?
Well, that's what I thought, but
I thought it was 6, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Oh no, it is 6. There's Scrapper, Hook, Bone Crusher, Long Haul, Mixmaster, Scavenger. So
okay,
Scrapper is the right leg, Hook is the upper body, Bone Crusher's the left arm, Long Haul is the lower body, Mixmaster
okay,
left leg,
Hmm.
Scavenger right arm.
I
okay.
stand
So
corrected.
Mixed Master and Scavengers who were missing. All right, I've
Okay.
got Bone Crusher, Scrapper, Hook, and Long Haul, which I assume you guys are in the same boat.
I actually don't have any of them, but that's just because I space and also just funds, and
I get it.
it's not the G2 colors, so because
I
those
get
are the
it.
ones
I'm
I
not
had growing
saying
up.
that you have offended Devastator, but he's a good friend
Well,
of mine, and he might be a
I
little
want
out
to
of
offend
kilter.
Devastator. I'm an Autobot guy, man, through and through.
Oh,
Yeah,
But
but you
Devastator's
can always.
even I understand that the Dinobot's got to have somebody to beat up.
I have no new acquisitions.
what?
I've been good. I've been good since JoeCon.
Well, you've acquired a new WoW guild, but
That's
that's
been a. Yeah, that's true. So
I've just got the blowtorch that came in that you showed off, I think, last episode.
yeah,
So mine,
I have your Footloose on my table, so I'm gonna bring that
yeah.
tomorrow to you.
And speaking of stuff that is yours, I finally got around to finishing up, and we'll show off here. This is a sneak little preview. The Toy Hacks. It's really hard to see. Toy Hacks decal set.
Look at the
I just
letters
got it.
on the tires. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So how many fingerprints do I have on there of that are by my nephews?
None. They have not touched this one.
This one.
Yeah. So there was an issue where I was a dum dum and wasn't paying attention with my heat gun, and it was the very last shoulder piece I was adding the decals on, and I guess I had gotten the heat gun too close, and I also held it too long, and it warped the plastic. It like just
Whoa!
Oh.
bent. I never panic bought anything from eBay so fast. I was able to find a replacement and get it ordered, and it eventually got here. And as soon as it came in, I was like, okay, this is perfect. And I just popped the thing off and slapped it in. Well, I rinsed it off pretty good, and then I dried it out really good. Kind of
Did you
slapped
have
it
to buy a
like
new sticker kit also?
no. Fortunately, I did not have to buy a new sticker kit. It was one of those
Okay.
where I just needed it. It just so happened it needed a plug and play basically, and it
Yeah.
worked out. So, but anyway, my my boys got a new hotspot. Well, new to them hotspot.
Man,
So,
you could have, like I said, you could have messaged me, dude. I would have paid for it.
nah, that was on me. So I'm happy to make it right. So, all right. Well, speaking of making it right, let's let's talk now about everybody's favorite mutants based out of Westchester, New York. Going going back to the Danger Room, we're talking X-Men. This time we are talking Sentinel Supremacy. I don't have a fancy little write up, but basically Night of the Sentinels is happening, crazy stuff's going down. Who is your team of X-Men that you are deploying? Mike, start us off.
Okay, here we go. This is by far my favorite storyline. So I have. You think I would be overwhelmed, right? But I wasn't. This was the easiest list I've made and easiest storyline. You know, tons of ideas. The storyline, but it's like everything is synced up. So let me start off with my linchpin. My linchpin would be Gambit. The story would start off with Gambit doing something to the effect of he has a job to steal something. Well, he's the world's greatest thief. So he goes in, steals it, discovers this is, the MacGuffin for the Sentinels are back, right? So all of a sudden, Gambit turns. He doesn't steal it. He steals it for himself, and he takes it and hides it somewhere. And then he's like the Paul Revere, right? He's like, the Sentinels are coming. The Sentinels are coming. But everyone's just like, you're a thief. And so he's the linchpin that kind of gets a team together and is like, hey, He like the story would be him kind of like getting the crew together and going and finding out secrets, and eventually that's where the Night of the Sentinels would be, is they find the place and the Sentinels activate, and it's just everyone's watching them fight now, these Sentinels that were supposedly decommissioned for something. So Gambit is a linchpin that gets everything going, but he is not the leader of the group. The leader of the group is Storm. Because, man, like I said, in a leadership
This
role, and like, go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say this feels very influenced, and like especially with X-Men '97, just
Yeah.
showing and net instead of just telling. Like this is
Well,
like
the
these
cool
are all
thing about
great
it
picks.
is with Storm, you would instantly get that visual of it's at night, and now I'm going to add an element of rain. Like this is going to be in a storm, because no matter how good technology is, there's going to be that little bit of, well, at least in my mind, that rain makes things that are electric not run so well. At least they'll make them a little bit more vulnerable. So why wouldn't there be a ton of rain? So also visually, you could let your comic book artist be like, "Hey man, go nuts!" Like it would, in your Illustrator too. Like things are going to be dark, and rainy, and you lightning crackling behind, so that can add some like dynamic lighting to some of the frames and things like that for comic books. So it's like Storm would give that element. Plus, she's a solid leader, and it's one of those things. Plus, I could have, not during the fight, but in the cameos, Forge. I could have Forge talk to her and address their drama, and continue that storyline of the Forge Storm dynamic, kind of revisit it, update it a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, because a lot's kind of happened in the I guess current established canon. At one point, I guess
Yeah,
Storm was a queen of Wakanda for a bit.
yeah.
I don't know. I kind
I
of
would.
checked out of Marvel around that point, but
Yeah, if I had that gig, I'd need to read like what's going on, what I would be required to use. Um, my third character. So I've got the weather princess, right? I've got the linchpin that kind of drives everything in the story. Uh, the swamp rat. Now I'm going to just bring my favorite X-Man in there as Colossus. So someone that could come in, take some damage, and give him an update in the story of like why he would essentially help Gambit, help Storm, help the team. But also just as Colossus. So I would like get to write Colossus, which would be really fun. And then if I have Colossus, I've got to have Kitty Pryde. So that would be my next X-Man. And I'm pretty sure she can pull some hurting on some electronics herself with her phasing ability. So that'd be fun and pretty cool to write. And then if I have Gambit, might as well have Rogue, right?
Yeah, here comes
So
Jerome.
so
this
I
guy,
so I would just have air superiority with her and Storm. I would have just a ground tank with Colossus, and I'd
and
have
with her too.
yeah, and with utility, I'd have Kitty Pryde, and Storm with the weather. So that would be my squad, and it's like storylines, like Rogue, Gambit, Kitty Pryde, and
Colossus.
Colossus. It would just be, man, it would be like the creme de la creme. This would be like my dream job would be to write this arc, and man, it would be so much fun, because I really like Gambit as that Paul Revere, and it would be kind of a call to the X-Men series that I grew up with, where Gambit, everyone questioned his motives, but at the end of the day, the dude was going to do the right thing, and he was going to get folks out of sticky situations. So,
Well, they questioned it, like they were like it made sense though, why they would question his motives, because he wasn't concerned with making it seem like he was on the up and up. Like he was a thief. Like he came from the background he came from. He made his
yeah,
peace with
like
that long
he,
ago.
he played the fool, right?
Like
He was willing to play the fool.
he didn't care about people's perceptions of his
Well,
character.
also,
The
I
only
think
thing that mattered.
he just wanted people to underestimate him. You know, and that was good because I think in Extreme X Men, they wrote him as someone that was like always sizing up opponents too, where it's like, hey, it's good if they underestimate you. You know, it gives me an
Yeah.
advantage. So, but man, that would be my team. Say that. It's like, man, I'd I'd write the heck out of those.
Right on. What about well, real quick before we move over to Tyler. Uh Sentinels have been around. They're very much established as a fan favorite bad guy type. A lot of different things have been done with Sentinels. There's just the regular standard Sentinels. There's the like weird shape shifting Sentinels. There's like the humanoid Sentinels, like infiltrators. Like, and then in X Men '97, we saw the giant kaiju Sentinel. Uh,
Yeah.
do you have anything in your creative writing back pocket, up your sleeve, up your brown trench coat sleeve to kind of put a different spin on fighting sentinels, or just are you wanting just the
Oh
regular?
yeah. The people that take over the Sentinels would be just a terrorist. They would want mass destruction. Didn't matter human, Sentinel, dog, cat, just destruction of everything. Everything living in the United States. So that would be my thing. So it would be like the X Men are not only fighting for, their little piece. They'd be fighting for like the entire world. So, the entire United States. And it would be just, absolute chaos because they would think, oh, well, the humans need to evacuate, for building damage. And then, the Sentinels would start attacking the leaving humans. And so it's like you would have another element of, Colossus and Kitty would have to start helping the humans get to safety. And it's like their battle plan would have to adapt. Like, oh, we can't just go on the offense now. All these humans are out in the middle of the open trying to escape. Now we've got to protect them, and we can't do as much offense. So there would be like layering. And it's like, oh no, the soldiers showed up. They're getting demolished, so we would have to help them too. So it would be just like, just nonstop, like pooping on this team and adding like uh, drama and tension and other levels of conflict. So it would be
Okay.
just always changing, like layering. I've thought about this way too much.
Well, I mean, that's good.
I'm nerding
So
out over here, guys.
that's why we're here. That's why we're here, man. No, sounds fun. Sounds
Yeah.
fun little story. I like the little potential double date action with Colossus and Kitty and Rogue and Gambit. Could be a lot of fun. Tyler, what do you got?
Well, I'll start off by saying two things. First of all, we've talked about this before. X-Men is not my forte. I have limited knowledge in terms of X-Men, and while one of these days I'll catch up on reading a lot more about the background and history. It's not a super high priority for me right now. So I have not done a ton of studying in comics. So I've put my list together by doing just research on individuals that are current or former parts of the X-Men team. The other thing I want to say is we all know, I think by now, Sentinels are my very favorite part of the X-Men universe. Period, full stop. That's it. Sentinels are it for me. That's what I love them. I think they're awesome. Who doesn't love robot bad guys who ultimately come to the conclusion that humans are self-destructive and the only way to protect humanity is to take control of humanity and basically imprison all of it. Otherwise, it's in our nature to destroy ourselves. And, so if you create something that's designed to protect you, well, it has to subdue you in order to do that because you're a human and it's your nature to destroy yourself. So I love that as a bad guy. I love that as a theme. Giant robots are amazing. I don't know who doesn't love giant robots. If you're into the kind of stuff that we're into and you don't love giant robots, I don't know what to tell you. Giant robots are great. They're cool. So the reason that the X-Men cartoon in the 90s hit me so hard, got me as good as it did, is they pretty much led out with the freaking Sentinels. And I was like, holy moly, I'm in. Like, I'm in. This is amazing. So love me some Sentinels. Um, Sentinels win in my universe, Mike. To in my narrative universe, which I approach this from a tactical perspective. I don't have a whole story written now, but I can tell you in my universe, in my story, in my narrative environment, the Sentinels win, because I believe they would. Just being frank, and because I love them, they're cool. So number one on my team. And the person I'm giving the keys to, the guy that's going to lead the show for us, which may not be the best pick for a leader of a team, but certainly can get the job done when it comes to killing Sentinels is Wolverine. Guy's got some anger management issues, got a little bit of wildness to him, but he's the adamantium claws they're gonna slice right through Sentinels. You're gonna take a hit if you're going into a serious battle with multiple Sentinels and they're competent Sentinels, which Sentinels typically are. You're gonna take some hits. His healing factor is gonna keep him in the fight. The claws are gonna keep him moving. So the dude's got a ton of energy, very good offensive weapon. He can cut those things down like nothing. So excellent leader, and just to get out there and set the tone and just go, guys, we're going wild out here. Let's tear them up. Number two on my list, I share in common with Mike, is Colossus. I love Colossus for Sentinels. He's not invulnerable, but he's nearly invulnerable in his steel form. And so he's got the strength. He's got the defenses. Like, he's basically my tank, like focus, trying to get the focus on him while the other folks do their work. And I think he goes in there and just, he can wreck some Sentinels. No question. And he can take hits. So two things that you got to be able to do when it comes to dealing with Sentinels. Number three, and this is where I'm starting to do some research and kind of figure out what makes the most sense. Trinary. If anybody has it's a deep cut, at least it was for me, in doing my research. So Trinary is a mutant who has the ability of technopathy. So her ability allows her to control basically any form of electronics. Well, if you're gonna fight Sentinels, what better way to fight Sentinels than take control of Sentinels and turn Sentinels on each other? So who can kill Sentinels best? Other Sentinels. So give me somebody who can take control of the Sentinels and turn them on each other, create chaos, confusion, and really disrupt what they're trying to do. Number four, and this was just kind of a who do I like? Darwin. Darwin is another one. I think you can put him in pretty much any scenario that I think that we're going to come up with in this series, because that's basically his power. He can adapt to any situation, no matter what. So, like that's his power. And so I'm going to plug him in here against the
Somebody
Sentinels.
somebody should have told Matthew Vaughn or whoever wrote the screenplay for X-Men First Class and reminded him of that.
Yeah,
the
they
one
really
the one mutant whose mutant power is to adapt to not die, and they kill him.
they kill him. Yeah,
Like,
that's I
that
mean
I
that sums up
I
what's wrong with those
man,
movies right there.
I remember, I'll never forget being in the movie theater watching that happen and just throwing up the what the heck hands, guys.
Yep.
Because that
Yep.
was just anyway.
Yep.
Side tangent, but continue. Darwin, yes.
So Darwin, he's going to survive in the environment. He's going to be able to create chaos offensively. We can talk about how effective he's going to be offensively, but I'm bringing some serious offense in terms of Colossus, Wolverine, and then taking over stuff with Trinary. So, he's there for he's more of the chaos element. Like his job is just to get in there and be unkillable. And again, take attention off of the people that are the real threat to the Sentinels. So I'm taking Darwin, and then my fifth member of my team is Magic. Um, all kinds of interesting ways, from psychic blades to um, I think she can phase shift, teleport. I mean, she can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
The
The
giant sword.
Yeah, the giant sword to go against giant robots. Like, hello, yeah. So I'm bringing her in there too. She's got a ton of offensive, and she has all kinds of defensive abilities too. So she can create shields if somebody's down and needs a minute. She could put a shield, a psionic shield over them. The Sentinels are not going to be able to punch through and give them protection. So Wolverine takes a hit, two hits, 3 hits, 10 hits, needs a second to come back, shield him for a second, shield herself, shield everybody on the team. So she's really there for. She's got offensive and defensive utilizations on my squad. Let's put it that way. So
And
um,
also, I would imagine with Sentinels being a huge threat, Colossus is going to want to keep his little sister close by.
that that is correct,
So,
and in all likelihood, he would want to do that. So Um, those are that's my 5-person team. I like their chances against a great group of like Mark II Sentinels, like what we saw in Night of the Sentinels on the X-Men cartoon. Great squad. I think Nimrod shows up and ruins everybody's day at the end of the game, and yeah. So you were asking about Sentinels and how things might change in Mike's narrative environment, and I like what they've built for Sentinels. I think the only thing that I would change two things. First of all, um, Sentinels do not breathe. They do not need oxygen, air, any of those kinds of things. Um, there is no reason whatsoever that when Sentinels have a targeted uh, location with many of their enemies in one place, for example, Xavier School, they don't take one of their larger models, master mold even, and blow that sucker off the face of the planet from space. Because it turns out that the X-Men need to breathe. So they can get to space, but not easily. Whereas the Sentinels should be able to make that transition anytime they want to, up, down, in, out, whatever. So I would manufacture off planet Earth. I would have multiple master molds to share um, a group consciousness. I'm not going full Borg where all the Sentinels are sharing the group consciousness, but I'm going with 8 to 10 master mold type Sentinels that are going to have a collective consciousness between them. They are going to be spread out so that you're not going to be able to kill all of them or any one person with one strike in one area. Um, So, spread it out, make them difficult to kill. You kill one, cool. By the time you go to kill another one of those master mold, you know, super sentinels, they've already replaced the first one that you killed because they've rebuilt it, manufactured it from materials they either source from Earth, source from asteroids, source from wherever the heck they want to. They can pretty much go wherever they want to. So that's the way that I would create the sentinels. That would be my craft. That would basically put them in a situation where they're going to be maybe not impossible to wipe out, but nearly impossible to wipe out.
what
Um,
about like what my so the question I was asking is, uh, a lot. There's been several different types of Sentinels. Like, are you create like what's the one Sentinel that you've created for this specific scenario? Because like we got like X-Men '97, like they were doing Sentinels, but then we get Kaiju Sentinel
right.
that we've never
Yeah.
seen before. So
You know, that's a good
it sounds
question.
like it sounds like you might have like Starship Sentinel or like a sentient like battle station, like where like a Sentinel Death Star.
Yeah, I would
or
definitely
something.
give them something that is in orbit around the planet, that is not tethered to the Earth, not inside the atmosphere, that has weaponry to either precisely target, small areas on the planet, or take out something such as a building or multiple buildings or maybe a city.
Or just how
Um,
about the planet and you just say Unicron as a sentinel from
well, I mean,
Transformers? Like,
that's a thing. That
why
could be a
not?
thing. Like we could go all the way there and say, well, you know what? The best way to protect humanity is if they don't exist and don't need to be protected anymore.
Yep.
So you
It's
can
like
go that route. Matt.
so. I mean that works. Yeah. So my rationale was I don't really have a story in mind. I was just kind of looking at like pretending, with my bald head that I'm Professor X and I'm like, seeing news reports of a Sentinel attack and I've got looking on a screen and I have the entire roster of X-Men at my disposal. Who am I sending? And I noticed, I don't know if you were intentional, Tyler, but your team seemed very melee focused, like
Mhm.
up close, personal bruiser focused. I went opposite and I went for more of a ranged presence. So my team lead, Storm. So Mike and I got that one in common. I'm going Storm, and next I'm going Bishop
I like Bishop.
because I'm like his Sentinels. They've got the lasers. His deal is he absorbs hits, he absorbs energy, redirects, channels it out even stronger. So at one point there's going to be like 7 Sentinels just unloading on him, and he's going to be like holding out, and then eventually just go Nova, and it'd be
That's
pretty cool.
awesome.
And
That's a
also,
good idea.
uh, and also,
Or if it was the X Men
any
movie, he'd just die.
or no, if it no. If it was the X Men movie, he shows up for approximately 90 seconds, and then they send Hugh Jackman back to the 70s, and we never see him again.
Yeah, that too.
Gosh. Thank you for reminding me how much I hate those movies.
Glad
uh,
to help.
man, he looked so cool though like the 2 minutes that he was in. He
Mhm.
was fun. Also, a question I always consider whenever I do anything like there's anything Bishop is which hairstyle are we getting?
Oh, you gotta have
Uh,
the
I'm
mullet.
I'm a particular fan of the mullet, but I also remember the Extreme X-Men run that Mike was talking about. He had dreadlocks and a bandana and dreadlocks. I really liked that look on him because it was kind of a pseudo modernization of it. It was kind of a like an update, but it was still keeping in spirit with the Jerry curl mullet that he had from the 90s that everybody loves. So I feel like that was a nice balance. So I think I'd probably go that. But obviously I'm gonna do a flashback where he's 90s mullet just because I've got to. I can't help myself. And then I'm gonna go. I am gonna have a slight up close presence with Sam Guthrie, Cannonball, because he's got the propeller, like the propulsion flight ability. However, a little addendum to that is while he's in that mode and doing that, his entire body is indestructible or nigh indestructible. So he's basically just a fastball going everywhere. And I like that as a fun visual. Basically, just Cannonball being a pinball and taking out multiple Sentinels within the span of like a few seconds. Um, and my number 4 is going to be Havoc because I was originally going to go Cyclops, but I was like, nah, I think I'll let Storm in this one so I can keep Cyclops in my back pocket. So, but I wanted to have a Summers projectile presence, so Havoc it is, and also he's a lot of fun. My fifth one, and this is kind of I like kind of throwing in a wild card every now and then. I'm gonna go. I went Domino actually, just because I feel like whenever you're fighting Sentinels, man, oh, it doesn't hurt to have luck on your side.
Uh-huh.
So, and also just with the Deadpool 2 movie, I think the mainstream audience, aka normies, kind of see the potential her power has.
She's
So I
always
think
been
that would
cool,
just
man.
Mhm.
she has, and that's more platforms she gets as a character, I think the better. So that's my team. That's fun. I think it's a fun little team.
Good group.
So
Good squad.
yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this week. We appreciate you coming by and sticking with us. If you made it this long, you're a real one. We appreciate you.
Yep.
And I don't think we have anything going coming up really. So all right. Well, on behalf of Tyler and Mike, I am Joe. And when it comes to the squad series, Night of the Sentinels, Sentinel Supremacy, fighting giant robots in populated, crowded areas, you guys helped us figure it out. Appreciate it. Take care.